Newest video. The first thing I'm going to say is everything that I'm saying today is my opinion. Some people may disagree with what I'm saying, some people may think there's a better way to do it, but I really don't care. This is what I think's best and what's worked with myself and with clients, so that's what I'm going to be saying. So from my last poll on my Twitter, the fat loss tips is what won today. So this is what we're going to be talking about. Let's not waste no time, let's get into it. Number one, know what you're eating. When I say this, I mean how much calories are you having? How much proteins, carbs, and fats are you having? All these factors are so important for a fat loss goal. But this is where people get confused. They'll have, say, 1,400 calories on their MyFitnessPal app. I see this loads. And when we actually dive into what they're eating, you see it's not that great. You see the fat is 50%, the carbs are the rest, and then a little bit of protein. And that's not good, and they're wondering why they're struggling to maybe lose weight or drop fat. So it's so important that one, you know how many calories you need, and also in that, how much proteins, carbs, and fats you are having. You want to be in a deficit, so you want to be having less calories than what you're using. This way, you can make sure you're still getting enough food, but at the same time, you're keeping just a little bit lower to try and really lose some weight. I found that this works really well, and again, it's very generalized, and it depends. That's going to be the answer for a lot of things because everything's so individual to each person. But if you keep tweaking little bits and bobs in your calories, you usually find you'll hit a spot somewhere along the line. Proteins, carbs, and fats. How much should I have? All these questions are floating about in this industry, and there's always people that will tell you this, tell you that. Again, in my opinion, I would say to have a higher protein diet, simply because we're trying to aid building muscle. The more muscle you build in male or females, you're going to reduce the fat around that area. Carbohydrates I feel need to be tweaked as well as fats depending on the individual. My body fat's very low, but I have quite a high carbohydrate diet. That's just because that's what works with my body. Some people say, oh, you're really lucky. But at the same time, if that's not the case, then you need to tweak that. But unless you're knowing what you're eating and how much, you're never going to be able to know. Number two, full body movements. The amount of times I've took on new clients and I ask them what they're currently doing in the gym, and they say, oh, I go on the treadmill for 30 minutes, then I go on the bike and I do a few weights. And they don't really have a structure. And then when I ask, why are you doing that, Julie? She doesn't know, which isn't her fault. But at the same time, people then wonder why they're not losing weight or getting their results. So if you compare sitting down on a machine, chest press, or standing up and doing something like a squat and press movement, which one's probably going to burn more calories and use more muscles? Simple. You know the answer. These are going to utilize a lot of muscle groups, so you can get a lot of muscle work in there. And at the same time, you're going to get your heart rate up because you're using so many different things, and that means burning calories. So when people say about using weights, some people are scared to do that, but at the same time, especially with females, you can't get huge like men because you don't have as much testosterone. You have more estrogen, so it doesn't allow you to grow as big as men unless you externally put in some more. So you see like fitness models and stuff, but if you're not doing that, you don't need to worry. Number three, cardio. What type is best? Which one burns more fat? This is better, that's better. Again, in the industry, there's so much going about of what is best. And again, it depends. I personally say sprinting is great for fat loss. But if someone really doesn't like sprinting, psychologically, that really isn't great because they're not going to enjoy it. Some people can get over it, and they can go, right, I don't care how much I hate it, I'm going to do it. If you can't do that, then you need to do something else. In my opinion, I would be doing HIIT training, so high intensity interval training. I feel like you can really work yourself to a new level, and you can really push your own boundaries and challenge your body. You'll really get the heart rate up, and it'll probably be a lot shorter than your usual 30-minute jog, okay? Remember, with any goal, whether it be muscle building or fat loss, the aim is to push your boundaries, so your body has to adapt and change. Cardio is the same. Don't just use the treadmill. Why not use the battle ropes and do intervals on there? 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Why not go on a sprinting on a treadmill? Why not do it on a rower or a bike? Keep mixing it up. So you're kind of letting your body rest where it needs to, and then you're going straight back at it again to really push your body to its limits. This will burn calories quickly. You'll feel it working the muscles as well to help maintain muscle mass because you're going to be working more like type 2 muscle fibers instead of your type 1, which is more long distance. And also it's a lot quicker. All right, there we go. Short and sweet video. I don't want to make this too long. Again, this is my opinion on my top 3 weight loss and fat loss tips. Now, as I said, all of this is covered in my fat loss guides available on the store. So if you're one of the people that voted, or you're someone who's just watching this, they're only £20 and it will really help you structure everything you're doing if these questions are floating about in your head and you need some answers. Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for voting on the poll. I'm gonna have another one coming soon, so make sure you follow me so you can have a little tick on which one you want next. As usual guys, keep training me, stay lean.